with a devastating video. I was already planning a coverage tonight that Joe Rogan literally sent me 2 hours ago. So, they send each other stuff constantly. And I was aware of all the info, but very short and sweet, and a great job, whoever made this, condensing all of this down. I want to air SP1.
Won't fucking wash. Fucking bird
Fast
jet.
lane to extinction to explain why these hellions are doing this. Here it is.
Your kind is extinct. We are the inheritors. That is the last man. If you're a human, that is humanity. It will not last forever. You can escape from it whenever you choose. Everything depends on you. Dude. You reduced me to this. No, Winston. You reduced yourself to it.
Again, I think that the biggest question maybe in economics and politics of the coming decades will be what to do with all these useless people.
We are losing progress against our sustainable development goals. We have put billions of dollars towards those goals.
Cults reach a point where mass murder is inevitable.
It's the cult. I mean, it's the cult of cults. It's the cult of truth.
It is no different with the climate change cult.
We have to phase out fossil fuels because this is a crisis of burning fossil fuels.
It's just quite amazing that someone that is in government, actually elected to the government of the United States of America, would propose that we eliminate all fossil fuels in 12 years. It would basically begin a process of cannibalization amongst the human species because the food could not be delivered to the stores in the middle of the cities anymore.
We now know that definitively at no point during at least the past 800,000 years has atmospheric CO2 been as high as it is today.
The reason you chose 800,000 years ago is because for 200 million years before that, it was greater than it is today. And I'm going to say for the record.
Yeah, but there weren't human beings. I mean, there was a different world, folks. We didn't have 7 billion people.
So how did it get to 2,000 parts per million if we humans weren't here?
Because there were all kinds of geologic events happening on Earth which spewed
Did
up.
geology stop when we got on the planet?
Mr. Chairman,
So if we act together to safeguard our precious planet, the welfare of all our people will surely follow. The Earth does not belong to us. We belong to the Earth.
They're chemtrailing with aluminum dioxide all the world, killing the seeds, the plants, the trees, the insects dying. They've got the Hadron Collider, their own scientists making blow the Earth up, the tests they're doing. They're the ones releasing GMO. They're the ones with the 5G. They're the ones saying cut down trees, carbon's bad. So everything he says is a giant lie, except we own the Earth, you don't. It's ours. We are the guardians of the Earth. He represents the Earth while he's killing it.
It isn't merely a new coronavirus or a nuclear war. This overlooked research makes all of those issues meaningless.
An alarming new study has found that between 1973 and 2011, sperm counts in Western males, men in North America, Europe, Australia and New Zealand, dropped from an average of 99 million sperm per cubic centimetre to just 47 million. Theoretically, if the trend persists, by 2050, our sperm may disappear entirely.
The end of human procreation is right around the bend, with a target date of 2045 if human
These phthalates can reduce fetal testosterone at a critical time for male genital sexual development. Number of children is declining everywhere. And in fact, the countries that start with a high number of children, are going down faster. Just mathematically, if you extended the line, it does hit 0 in 2045.
All the planning, all the beta testing is over. And now, the Great Reset is here. It's a future. And for 80+% of us, we're not in it. Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. Or a cat you take care of, or like we're a museum piece where they cull the population from 7.5 billion down to 500 million. I wonder who the lucky people are that are going to get to live.
Humanity itself is slowly dying, and barely anyone knows about it. John Bowden reporting for InfoWars.
While other networks lie to you about what's happening now, InfoWars tells you the truth about what's happening next.
They've declared the monkeypox pandemic. China's declaring an emergency just like they did 4.5 years ago with the whole COVID hysteria. All these Democrat mayors and governors are saying, put the mask back on, monkeypox is everywhere. They already tried to shut down the beef and poultry production and slaughtered tens of millions of chickens and turkeys and hundreds of thousands of cows. They tried to make all the farmers and ranchers do PCR tests turned up on high to say they had the bird flu. It was all made up. They said humans had it everywhere. That was made up. And now, going back to 2 years ago, they're bringing back the monkeypox. Now, they put as the head of the monkeypox division in Biden's White House.
No, actually, I made a great decision. How about you?
And then they even
Feeling well,
that's
too.
the main vector for monkeypox. Now, if you go back to the hepatitis shots in New York and San Francisco, it's been partially classified that the late 70s, they
I got the
spread
bug now.
HIV
Now I want to do more.
in the homosexual population as a vector because they were the
My
best
addictive
group
personality is
to
taking
spread
over.
it because of their highly promiscuous natures. Some of them hundreds of partners a month, some even more.
Yeah, I had a blast, man.
And of course, that was the main group that was dying.
Long day, but
Drugs that helped kill them. So, look at these headlines. New global health emergency. What is Mpox? Because monkeypox, you already know that was a fraud, so they call it Mpox. Where are the outbreaks and will the virus spread? I'm about to play a video in a moment. Another headline. That was AP. Monkeypox is spreading among gay men worldwide. World Health Organization. Monkeypox public health advice for gay, bisexual, and other men who have sex with men. They go to admit almost all cases in men to men, and a whole bunch of children around the world are getting it by being molested. You really need to get blood product, that's semen, into the body.
for sure.
Monkeypox. Why are gay and bisexual men more affected?
That's the first time my alternative channel's been taken down. It's weird. Only certain songs will do it. I blamed it on her 90s shit. Her 90s alternative crap. I gotta wash my windshield and grab a nice tea. I didn't make one before I left.
Well, I just showed you, that's Reuters. I just showed you the CDC and the UN saying the opposite.
I'll be right back.
Monkeypox outbreak predominantly affecting men who have had sex with men. Madrid, Spain. Major study.
The titty hurts.
BINIH.
Manchester Orchestra.
That's the NIH website, but Reuters says it's not true. Okay. So, risk of clad 1 Mpox outbreaks among gay bisexual men. They have new reports out. So in the fine print they admit it, but then on the national news say they're not. So here's the short video I posted on Real Ox Jones you need to share. I put up Maximum Alert as the link. New lockdowns incoming. They built all these emergency viral centers everywhere. And in these war games that I've got in Reuters, they talk about tens of millions dying from it. So they're about to release in the homosexual population a weaponized form of monkeypox. In the war games, they admit that's what they would do. And these war games are 2 years ago, and they use the war games as the battle plan. So the operatives that are out running it, if they get caught, go, oh, this is just a drill, not the actual battle plan. They always do it the same, like SPARS, 2025, 2028, Operation Lockstep, Event 201, and then it's the exact battle plan. So here's a short clip. You want to record this clip, and you want to pause it. It's got a lot of documents, a lot of articles. It's very short, but there's an hour of research in this video alone. Here it is.
Health emergency of international concern.
And again, this is mainly for TV. Some radio listeners want to go to real.
Is transmitted by close skin-to-skin contact, often in the context of sex.
So, just like Fauci back at the time ran the operations against the gay population, use them as the vector to spread it, then use them spreading it as the fear, and then later they turned around 5 years later and said, oh, you're poor victims, and the world was mean to you, and said, you know, that people could get AIDS by just touching you or being close to you. So they're going to use them again and then make them victims again because they're able to spread the diseases quickly, and they act basically as a one group. I'm not saying all of them, but 90% will basically do whatever they're told. So the leader of the White House response, the medical doctor, is all over the internet basically saying have unprotected sex and do all this crazy stuff. And then he is the one up there saying this is not a gay disease. All right? So, again, that short video is for television. It's got all the documents in it. For radio, you just basically heard some music for 45 seconds or 48 seconds. You need to go to Real Alex Jones if you're a radio listener, just at Real Alex Jones on X. You can follow us there. You need to get this report, and we're going to be posting this report tonight. It's live right now to Real Alex Jones and Band.video, and you just share it with everybody you know because it's all happening right now. Also, pull up some of the headlines. It's all over X. Just ask the question. Formerly Twitter. How are children getting monkeypox? Babies are getting it. If it's being spread only by sex. And that's a fact. I mean, I guess if you had, like, bit your tongue and came up and spit in somebody's mouth, maybe. But it's intense contact. And pull up the photos of homosexual men with monkeypox. We were showing it 2 years ago with the monkeypox all over their mouths. There's photos, medical photos of their genitals and stuff. But don't show that. Just show the medical photos of gay men. I wouldn't say homosexual. That's just a technical scientific term, like heterosexual. Type in, you just go to Google or any other search engine and just say gay men with monkeypox, and it shows it all over their mouths, all the big sores, all the rest of it, and that's almost 100%. I just showed you the UN's own studies, the CDC's own studies, the NIH, all of it, and then now they're telling you it's imminently going to come hit you all and attack you all, and that it's your fault, and you're going to have to take shots and take new experimental vaccines. We're going to have lockdowns and mail-in ballots, and it's a UN global emergency. And the same guy, Fauci, used gay men to spread HIV starting in 1979. Since we didn't have it, I'm going to have Matt in post, and we post this to Band.video and X, because I'll type like that, and we will get that out and put that out and show you, because this is a very important report that we're putting out. This is a real emergency for everybody.
Fucking Parks Piggy fucking... They couldn't find his dip.
They want to take out using the bird flu, and they want to just absolutely devastate everything with monkeypox. And God knows what else they're going to hit us with. All right, Chase Geyser's coming up. Stay with us.
Motherfucker. Holding up the fucking line because he's got to have his dip. Sent the guy back twice.
These clips are all going up from the show. And get them out there because our lives and future depend on it. And please support us at drjonesnaturals.com. We'll be right back.
Needs suspenders because he ain't got no ass to hold up his fucking gun belt.
That's demonstrable, and it's also because it is so important being censored at every level by the tech companies. We were thinking about this a couple of months ago. We thought, why not get on the road live in front of
I said some of us actually got to get to work.
coast to coast and nationwide.
The fuck,
we
dude?
can't be censored. That'd be good.
Why does a fucking cop or a park piggy need a fucking cage in his fucking car?
Responding to what is happening in America this September in real time. It'll be just like the podcast.
Mace, taser.
So we're excited to announce our friend Barry Elder is coming to join us.
Ain't no bears down here.
Our friend John Rich will be there with us in Sunrise, Florida. We're adding more stuff. We just added another stadium show in Reading, Pennsylvania.
The Real Jobs making real jobs.
Have you seen him in person? You should. Make it your own road. It's going to be fun as hell.
Oh well. Rant over. Sure he takes care of his wife or his family, doesn't beat his wife and all that good stuff. gotta. Well, Sweet D, yeah, she's bitching because she's still mad that he spent more time on her than me and you combined. I said, well, he did have a boob to be working around and on. That's what they're literally pulling out of their ass for this election is monkeypox.
Once again, the WHO is saying we need contact tracing.
Contact tracing, yeah. Whose ass you been in? I'm all down for that if they catch the fucking pedos that are infecting the fucking kids with it. What's up, Jody? About 20 more minutes. I might go live from the desktop. It just depends. It's gonna be a busy day. It's a fucking Monday. I gotta drive up to Ann Arbor after I get off to co-sign for my son for his new truck, which will be fun. I'll definitely stream that.
Potentially find anything you were looking for, depending on how high you turn it up. And this is exactly what has been done. The official protocol given for the PCR testing of COVID-19 created a flood.
Jody fucking jerk. Effing jerk.
They call it asymptomatic because it's a lie. These people don't have symptoms because they don't have COVID-19. They do it today because
I don't mind doing that for him. He's doing pretty well. Well, trying to anyway. He's the one that's going to give me a grandchild pretty soon. So.
Entering the country for Mpox over the next 6 months. In the 2024 New Zealand pandemic plan, under the special powers legislation, it states that authorized medical personnel have the power to force vaccinate people. And Google's former CEO, Eric Schmidt, is creating an AI army for robotic war. And what he first says will be defensive.
And the idea basically is to do two things. Use AI in complicated, powerful ways for these essentially robotic war. And the second one is to lower the cost of the robots. Now you sit there and you go,
oh, I can jag off it. I noticed that when we ran into all that traffic and we stopped at Sheetz, everybody coming from the game had a black and yellow shirt on and said, I'm with this jag off. I thought it was hilarious. That was the game. Gotta make sure not to be downtown. Oh, I found the stuff. I sent an email. Did you get an email? I know you don't check email that much, dirty, but I sent a message to everybody that was in the league last year. There's going to be a few people that aren't going to be in it. I think my brother will, but I don't think his son-in-law will. So there's going to be some openings. I'm gonna have to get moving quick on that because the fucking season starts soon. I'm thinking if I can get it together fast enough, we can do a draft this weekend. Hilarious though. too.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the American Journal. I'm your host, Harrison Smith. We have a very big show for you today. Of course, we'll be talking about politics, DNC, Kamala being drunk, everybody loving Trump. We'll get into all of that. In just a second, we'll get into the invasion as well. The concern today is about Venezuelans taking over Denver. Yep. Tons and tons of videos to get to today as well. So alright, here it is, folks, your daily dispatch for Monday, the 19th of August.
Venezuelans taking over Denver,
The
huh?
2024 Democratic National Convention starts today. And boy, is it the typical.
I wish I had time to take off just to fucking do some street recording in Chicago this week. It would be fucking epic.
It's truly amazing. We're going to spend a bit talking about this in the beginning.
Fucking epic.
Where to even begin with this? Thousands of National Guard troops are standing by. Legions of police are already dealing with rioters that threaten to turn violent. That's hundreds of thousands to send on the DNC to make their voices heard. Meanwhile, if you look at the headlines, like I just went to the convention tab on Google News yesterday.
I'm pretty sure he was well protected though. He wasn't in the shit. What's the gay dude? The gay journalist that got a concrete shake thrown at him from Antifa.
Actually exists, or if it's all smoke and mirrors.
Is he gonna be there?
A little bit later, but basically simultaneously got the atmosphere of a party, and it's all unity and joy. When in reality, it's, I mean, the FBI's come out and said that they're afraid. They have warnings of a chemical attack that might happen there. So we'll see, and we'll be showing you videos of it already. The videos are kind of insane.
You know what I mean? The little gay Asian.
It's only going to get crazier.
Is that
The
X?
most important thing to understand about this DNC, and they keep saying that it's unlike any other DNC before, and things are changed. This one's different. What's different about this one is the convention used to be a place where there was.
I heard they have like a
political contest.
They actually have fencing around the DNC.
Democratic process working itself out. Now it's a
I can't. You know what I mean.
The crowning of Kamala Harris. It's very
I don't know. Maybe he's. I think he's like.
Seeks a ceasefire momentum on
Jesus, dude.
Trip. U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken
in a hurry?
Tel Aviv on Sunday to try to seal a ceasefire deal after months of negotiations amid the
Yeah, no borders except for when we're having our big DNC party. And we put up a fucking 12-foot unclimbable fence. But walls don't work.
Conclusion of an elusive ceasefire agreement. He's pretty much already failed, but he arrived in Israel on Sunday before what mediators have billed as a last push to reach a deal that will take place in Cairo later this week. Anybody else having flashbacks to January 20?
Brad was pretty cool, man. We had a pretty good chat while you and the missus ran to the store.
Weeks just before Russia invaded Ukraine. When exactly these types of headlines came out, Anthony Blinken travels to Ukraine in last-ditch effort to prevent war. Yeah, how'd that work out? And is that really
Well, we're grooved. We're on a groovy road here.
9 times Anthony Blinken has gone to Israel to put his foot down and say, hey, you gotta stop killing women and children. Israel says, screw you, give me $20 billion. And Anthony Blinken says, okay. And then it continues unabated. So, 8 times, the superpower, the most powerful country in the history of the world has sent our
Oh, guess what?
emissary.
I got a batch marinating right now. Nice thick cut too. You inspired me, and I actually found some good lean beef on sale. Round steak. So I'll be putting it in the dehydrator tonight. I was gonna do it last night, but I fucking fell asleep on the couch.
Maybe the nighttime will be different, or maybe this will just be.
I'd have done it last night. I could have brought my son some, but
charade before.
Oh well.
The guns really start.
More for me.
We'll be back to this, but it's worth it to remind you that
kids ate it.
If we want it to not spiral out of control, if we want to stop the relentless murder, all we have to do, is just not give them the bombs. Just not send them the weapons, and everything would change. Israel would have to negotiate, they'd have to stop the advance into Gaza, they'd have to stop saber-rattling with Hezbollah and assassinating people in the middle of Iran. All of it would come grinding to a halt if we weren't just supplying endless billions of dollars of weaponry to them. But we keep giving them billions of dollars of weaponry, so it's not ending anytime soon. Meanwhile, Ukraine aims to create Kursk buffer zone, Zelensky says, as keeps...
Yeah, I actually got a dehydrator, so...
Ukraine's military incursion into Kursk aims to create a buffer zone.
It only goes up to... Well, I only run it up to 119 degrees, but then I run it for like 5 hours.
In the Russian border region.
Depending on how thick cut it is. It's pretty thick. This batch is pretty thick. It's only 2 pounds of beef, so...
Likely and may imminently.
I did use the last of the Dave's Insanity though, so I'm gonna have to get some more.
We'll get into that. Meanwhile, this morning, House GOP investigators accused Biden of impeachable conduct in long-awaited report. It's unlikely to change the fact that Republicans don't have the votes to impeach the president. Some Judiciary Committee Republicans have pushed to hold public hearings on impeachment articles, but Chair Jim Jordan didn't commit to that step in a recent interview. But House Republican investigators accused President Biden of engaging in impeachable conduct as part of a long-awaited report. It's unlikely to change the reality. They don't have the votes to impeach him, and we will we'll return to this in just a little bit, but this is a much more powerful statement than anything we've seen out of the House GOP. This is just like a media play to try to steal headlines during the DNC and throw a wrench in there. Nothing is going to come of this. They should have done it 4 years ago. And too little, too late. Biden not even in charge. So who cares, honestly? And finally, we have this. Operation Early Dawn in the UK. Emergency move to avoid prison overcrowding triggered amid sentencing of rioters. Yes, the government of the UK are jailing so many people for their speech that they're having to launch Operation Early Dawn to release prisoners, not the...
Well, one thing about venison is it's a very good lean meat, so you can use almost any part.
It'll be the murderers and the rapists. They'll be the ones released to avoid this overcrowding. An emergency plan to avoid overcrowding in jails has been triggered this morning. The government has announced in the wake of sentencing of scores of rioters. Operation... And just like with everything, every time you think the New World Order has reached a impossible to exceed to the level of their tyranny, they always go even crazier. So again, we'll get into just some of the further arrests that have been made, and it's gone from, inciting racial hatred for posting like "F the Muslims, burned down a mosque." It's like, all right, well, that shouldn't be illegal. You're allowed to say whatever you want, but it's a little over the line. Maybe a little over the line. You're calling for violence. Now it's just people who are like, stand up for yourself, Britain. Being thrown into jail for years. I'm not even kidding. One of them was, quote, "Get out on the street." Get out on the street. Jail for 2 years. An old man who retired after like 42 years as a bus driver, and now spends all of his time looking after his sick wife. He's now going to jail for 2 years. Out into the streets. Get out into the streets. Protest. Go stand up for yourself. Saying that alone is now enough to send you to jail for 2 years in the UK. It's horrifying. Absolutely horrifying. That's it. That's your Daily Dispatch. InfoWarsStore.com is where you go to keep us on the air and in the fight. And I got a lot of videos to get. An absolutely fantastic video from over the weekend. Clip number 8. Actually, no, we're not going to start with that, because I have a bunch of videos today that I want to get to that all are sort of in the same vein, and I want to build up to that. So I think we'll start instead, and this is kind of nice. This is a nice little transition that we're going through. See, previously, when the entire media landscape and all the Democrats were claiming that Biden was perfectly fine, and claims about his mental acuity were cheap, fake news, disinformation,
like to begin the show practically every day with some video of Joe Biden being an embarrassing mess because it was a daily occurrence. You would have thought that would have gone away with Joe Biden going away, but no, actually Kamala is just as bad, and we have a variety of videos from this weekend where she just what is she doing? What is she talking about?
Diving into some Twitter X last night, watching some of these videos, dude. She looks fucking bombed at a lot of these
at this point.
She wasn't in the news because who really gave a shit?
Here's Kamala Harris.
But oh my goodness, you can see why they kept her under wraps.
Perspective, it looks an awful lot
for the most
like her
part.
Campaign is collapsing in the run-up to this DNC. This weekend has been really.
This Kamala flame is going to burn out fast, I think.
Has made me think otherwise. We'll go to clip 17 first. Kamala Harris is trying to say something about democracy. See if you can figure it out.
That's what our election is about. Our election is about understanding the importance of this beautiful country of ours in terms of what we stand for around the globe as a democracy. As a democracy, we know there's a duality to the nature of democracy. On the one hand, incredible strength when it is intact. What it does for its people to protect and defend their rights, their liberty, and their freedom. Incredibly strong and incredibly fragile.
Okay. I mean, okay.
Democracy, one hell of a glass cannon.
Yeah, thank you.
Democracy, really powerful until you incite a race war.
I mean, yeah, I mean, what is there even to say? I mean, first of all, just the way she's talking sounds like she's talking to toddlers, which is very, very annoying. And if for no other reason, please, for the love of God.
From the get-go.
No one would be telling them that Orange Man is bad, right on the TV. And then other people who pay attention to politics would have to deal with her baggage.
Constantly, forever. Let's go to clip 19 here. Again, let's see if she can expand on this, because remember, she doesn't. All these things she said, believe it or not, these things are prepared. These,
later, guys.
Like she's thought about these.
Have a good day. We'll see you in a bit, hopefully. If not, we'll see you later. Definitely on the drive to Ann Arbor.
She goes out and speaks.
To go sign away my name.
These ideas.
That's okay. Love you.
She can't do it. It doesn't make. She's got no thoughts to express.